Come on, buddy. What's up, guys? Monday. Slept in a little bit today. We had this real estate workshop all weekend, and I've just been, my sleep hasn't been as regular as it should be. It's been a while since I've been consistent with my sleep, and I really need to start that. Sleep is super important, but normally I'm up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and today I slept till I woke up at 6 because Cheech had to go. He wakes us up at 6 every morning to eat and go to the bathroom. But then I went back to bed and got up at 10.
Cheech, what are you doing? What are you doing over there? Crazy? Huh? What are you doing? Ah! Don't let judgment cripple you. I've been downloading a lot of Gary Vee audio experience lately. Really, dude gets me fired up, man. Can relate to him on so many different levels. From Jersey, keeps it real. Those two kind of go together. Likes the Jets. Just his philosophy about documenting, not creating. Just I really relate. Alright, today Amp Bodybuilding Fitness Phase 2.2. This is week 8. I actually took last week off because my sleep was fucked up, and my elbow's been a little bit wonky, so I actually came in, just did some light stuff, but I really didn't go all in. It was basically almost a deload week, or a rest week, if you will. But today is upper body hypertrophy, day 1, Roman sit-ups, cable rear delt fly, alternating front raise, cable chest fly, dumbbell rows, dips, dumbbell flat bench, easy curl, press downs, and seated barbell wrist curl. So let's get to it. Alright guys, Amped Phase 2.2. This is week 8, actually week 9. I took week off because I was just a little bit tired, and I probably went through 3/4 of the workouts, but I didn't go nearly as heavy because my rest wasn't where it should have been. So I'm typically, I should be on week 9, but I'm going back to week 8 to redo it. And part of this is knowing when you should take a break and knowing when you should kind of push through. And most of these workouts, I do have a deload factored into it. But sometimes when you're feeling good during that week, go for it. Go through the week as if you would do a normal week, and then take a week off when you need it. I factor deload weeks in because most people just will go until they get hurt. So I like to factor in a week of just kind of bringing it back. And typically it happens every maybe 6 to 8 weeks. But getting back here real quick, my philosophy was just to do a little pre-exhaust. On my warm-up is actually some isolation movements, rear delt flies, cable, Roman sit-ups, front delt raise, and also a chest fly. And what you're looking at right now is my first working exercise, which is dips. And this week is week 9. It is an advanced program, so I do have drop sets in there. So my first set, or actually this is what I recorded, probably was my 4th set of dips, where I go heavy to 6 to 8, and then I'll drop the weight and bust up 15 to 20 reps. And you'll see probably in the next clip here, once I drop this weight, that I take a few few reps. I take a few sets to get those 20 reps. I'm actually, doing a couple and then taking a rest and then doing a couple more, trying to get to that 20 mark. I'm not sure if I actually got 20 here, but I probably came pretty damn close to 20. And I just kept doing 2 at a time, take a little rest, shake it up, just enough to let my muscles chill out and then get right back into it. So I do that quite often, but I wouldn't suggest it for, in the beginning of any kind of beginner bodybuilding program. It is more of a quote-unquote advanced technique. And this is, like I said, phase 2.2. AMP phase 2.2 is a upper body strength day and also upper body hypertrophy day, and also, which is more volume for those who, questioning what hypertrophy means. And then just as, same thing with lower body. So I'll do a lower body strength session and a lower body hypertrophy session. And I keep the exercises very simple. Again, volume for the week makes sense, but volume for each workout may be more or less than you're used to. But I feel, more is better if you're putting quality reps in. So less is always going to be better as long as your intensity is there. Just to do more reps and more volume doesn't make any kind of sense to me, especially for your 40-year-olds out there who are watching this. I do believe in cutting back the volume, but putting more effort into each set. So I do preach that quite often. I just had a conversation with, one of the dudes in the studio who's 44, and he's been, used to doing high volume, and then on top of it, he'll throw some CrossFit workouts in there, and I do think that it may be a little overkill, and you're not giving your body a chance to rest. Rest periods do change. Rest recovery time does change when you get older. That's a fact. But I don't believe in, making the workouts less intense, just making them with less volume. And if you're doing correct exercises, stacking the correct exercises, and you're putting enough effort in, you're not going to need that extra work. But here I'm just doing some triceps. My right elbow's been a little bit wonky the past couple weeks. That's another reason why I've been taking some extra time off. But I didn't show it, I didn't video it, but I did do drop sets on the triceps as well. And here I'm finishing up with some arms, biceps. And I do a drop set here, I believe. I recorded it, but again, even my weights aren't that, not that impressive in comparison to what I used to do, but I don't feel like I need that extra weight anymore. I'm doing, I'm still maintaining my muscle, I'm still getting stronger, and I'm giving my joints a little bit less stress, so to speak, if that makes any kind of sense. So here I'm just doing my last drop set, dancing a little bit along the way, but I do crank out probably 50 or 20 reps on that drop set, and that's all I did for today's workout. But I do believe in this is week 8, like I said, so I'm doing an upper body hypertrophy day as well as an upper body strength day. Today was day 1, starting back over again and getting back into it. So that's a wrap for right now.
What's up, guys? Anthony Meddy here, Project My Life. Gonna do a little podcasting here. So, a few things that come up just today, actually. A gentleman by the name of Morris. He's been, I've talked about him in the past. He's a great guy. He came here, I guess, about 5 years ago now. He actually told me it's over his, approaching his 5th year anniversary here. His story is, he came in here, he was referred to us by his physical therapist. Morris is 75, by the way, or he was 75, and he had just had a stroke. And he went to his physical therapist, and his physical therapist is no longer in business, so his physical therapist referred him to us. And, I'm a bodybuilder, I'm a trainer, but, he was a little, at first, apprehensive coming here because of who I was and what my background was. But he was referred to us, so he came here and met us, and he's been a member ever since. We've helped him out. Now, the whole team has been helping him with his physical therapy, but in the beginning, it was just me doing his rehab and his physical therapy. And my background is in bodybuilding, right? But there's basic human movements that we worked on. I was literally lifting his hand up with a band and moving it toward his mouth because he had no function in the left side of his body, zero. Long story short, now he's playing golf and he's back on the course. He doesn't have full function, but he's doing a lot more than he did in the beginning. But the point of this whole message, he had 2 questions today, so I'm going to chop this up into 2. But I'm going to talk about one right now specifically. He said, so you got some competition in town. Referring to there's apparently, supposedly, in this lot right here, they've been talking about putting a apartment complex and a big health club, a gym. For many years they've been talking about it now. And those of you who are listening can't see it, but right across the street from Bodhi, why is it so blurry like that? Damn. Let's get the color back. Here we go. So right behind our studio, right across the street from our studio, is a big complex. Long story short, they're going to put a health club. They've been talking about it for many years. He said, so what do you think about the competition going up across the street? Are you nervous about it? And I was like, first top of my head, I was like, I don't even know about it. What's going on? Because they've been talking about it for many years, so I don't know, what he was really referring to. He said, right across the street, they're putting a big health club, kind of like the one, down the street, Lifetime. And I was like, oh, all right, that's cool. I'm okay with it. I like competition. And I feel like it gives people an opportunity to compare the different kind of training models and a different experience in a big box gym, and also what we do here at Bodhi is the personalized attention and the my background. And then I said, he's like, are you something about bodybuilding? And I said, what sets us apart is me and Karen and our experience and the coaches here and how the bodybuilding background. He's like, yeah, but do you think you'd want to use a different word than bodybuilding? Because it may intimidate some people. And that was my old way of thinking, is that bodybuilding was intimidating to people. And when they saw me on stage and when they saw me with my shirt off, they may be a little intimidated, quote unquote, to the point where they wouldn't want to ask for help. And literally just recently, I've broken away from that mentality of, people might be intimidated, because I don't want people who are intimidated with a little hard work. I don't want to work with them. My physique has been the result of 28, actually next year will be 30 years of discipline and hard work, and doing it without the use of enhancements. So it's a drug-free bodybuilding career that I built for myself. So number one, for many years I suppressed that side of my bodybuilding when I was trying to market my business. I always wanted to seem like a knowledgeable personal trainer, a knowledgeable coach, but I always suppressed the bodybuilding aspect not to intimidate people. And really, back in the day when I started, there was it was frowned upon if you were a bodybuilder. It was looked upon as, you were a meathead, or you didn't really have the knowledge. It's just like, I lift things up and I put them down, like the commercial Planet Fitness. But really, what it comes down to is nowadays, you can go to school and get bodybuilding certified, which is wild for me. One of our coaches here, our new coaches, he's taking the bodybuilding exam. So he's going to school, he's getting books that are bodybuilding. They say bodybuilding on it. So that old philosophy of being a bodybuilder, being a dumb meathead is over and done with. And don't get me wrong, there is some dumb meatheads out there who just literally, lift things up and put them down. But my approach is a little bit different. I look at the musculature. I also look at the joint functions, and we have a different approach here at Bodhi. So it also brings me back to, I'm rambling, I'm hopped up. I haven't worked out in a few days like this, so I'm jazzed up, so try to keep up with me. But it also reminds me of, a story, or, Karen and I'll just start talking about it. Karen and I, every year, for many years, used to go out to Pennsylvania and have dinner with an Amish family. And I love the Amish. I think that they're, just genuine, and they're, simple. They live a simple life, great core values, family, and they don't get caught up with, social media. They don't get caught up with a lot of things that we, as a as typical society, kind of get sucked into. So they have a very simple lifestyle. Plus, when you eat dinner with them, they get the food from the farm and they cook it. It's very organic and very wholesome, and I love that fact. I love that aspect. So the experience is really awesome. But if you know anything about their culture, they have their beliefs, they have their religious beliefs or whatever, and they have their core values. But then with their children at puberty, they let them go. When they reach puberty, they let them go. In other words, they let them into society, normal everyday society, and they let them, wear different clothes, and they let them kind of experience what life is like on the other side of being an Amish culture. And most of them come back to their core values. Most of them come back into their, their family, and they go back to the organic core Amish beliefs, different clothing, different beliefs. Some of them stay out, and that's fine, and I like that because they give them the option to experience other things. So how does that relate to this? It's like when Morris was talking about it, I like that. I want you to go out there and explore, Lifetime, CrossFit, LA Fitness, Retro Fitness, all these other gyms, because A, you get to experience the difference, and then you can make a valid decision based upon what you need and you want and you feel most comfortable. So I know that when you do come back, if you come back, when you come back, you're going to be here because you want to be here. So I don't mind the competition. Getting back to the original question, I don't mind that. I think that's good. I think it's good to have diversity, and I think that not everybody's going to want to be a member here. Not everybody's going to want to, work as hard. Not everybody is going to want to pay that extra for that extra support and that extra personalized attention. That's the question. That's an Ask Me Any question. It's about 9 minutes right now, so I'm going to wrap this up in a little podcast. And hey, Aunt, do you feel threatened by the other gyms coming into town? That was the question of the day, and that's my response. So, wrap this up. Believe in yourself, trust the process, practice patience. Peace.